Hey everybody, it's Lyssa at Embellish in Watertown, Wisconsin. How are you guys today? I'm excited to be with you here for our weekly live card making. Feel free to ask any questions as we go along today. I'm happy to help you. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for almost 20 years now and am highly enjoying it. It never gets old. Crazy. Longest hobby I've ever stayed with by far, and that's because it just keeps evolving along with me in my creative journey. So I am a demonstrator. If you need a catalog, please let me know. Otherwise, you can shop online at lyssa.stampinup.net. And I have a hostess code going for the month if you are interested. Actually, it's September's hostess code, so it'll be winding up soon, but it can be used today and tomorrow for sure. Fun card today, and it is going to show you what to do with those 6x6 papers, which we as card makers sometimes find difficult to use, right? Because they're just an odd shape for cards and regular envelopes, unless you like making your own envelopes, which I don't happen to, but so this is going to show you a way to use up some of those papers that maybe you weren't sure what to do with those patterns. Okay, so I'm going to use the Thoughtful Wishes suite, and that is in the current main catalog on page 46 and 47. So let me know if you need a catalog. I'd be happy to pop one in the mail. And it's got these gorgeous color scheme for this, and it's all beautifully done, like meadow scenes, a little bit of forest, some close-ups of flowers. It's just a really good collection of nature things done in a very soft color palette, and we're going to use a stamp set, and then the smallest dies in the set. We're just going to use the little leaves today. So if you don't have those products, you can sub in, of course, any 6x6 paper, but I've got the Thoughtful Journey 6x6, the Thoughtful Wishes stamp set, and then a couple of colors of ink to go with it. And here's what I made. So this is a new design, and it takes just 2 pieces of 6x6 and nothing else. So there's no cardstock involved unless you want to add some die cuts. Isn't that cool? I love how it just opens and opens and opens. Isn't that fun? So choose a stamp set that has several different greetings that all go together for the same occasion. So mine says, "Dearest friend, I'm thinking of you fondly. You make life better." And then there's space to write. Okay, that's another thing I would say with your pattern paper is choose one that has a kind of a calm area that you'll be able to write a little message in, or plan to put some cardstock in there that you can write on. Okay, so the Thoughtful Journey papers worked out perfectly for this with a little color tweaking. So you'll notice that the front side of this and the back side are showing. And they're very similar, but they're not quite the same colors. And so I'm going to do a little bit of sponging to make it so that the purple is toned down, so it doesn't clash with the front. You'll see what I mean as we get going. Okay, so because my colors are chosen by the paper that I'm already using, I chose to use Mossy Meadow, which is the green here. This is Cajun Craze, which I used on the twine. And then I used Peach Pie for my other ink color because it matches really well with that peach that's there. Okay, all right, so this one's perfect for fall. Beautiful fall birthday card is what I'm thinking here. All right, let's make it, huh? I stick my paper clip on here just to hold this closed so that it will lay flat while we are working on our design. I'm going to stick it up there. Hopefully we can see it while we work. Okay, so you're going to need a paper trimmer with a scoring blade. So make sure the cutting blade and scoring blade are clearly different from each other, right? And we're going to use first the cutting blade, and then this is where it's important for your 6x6 paper to be directional. So I knew that because this has ground on it, this needed to be the bottom of my card, right? It needs to be what is along the bottom, because it wouldn't make any sense to have the land up in the sky. So that told me that these papers, both of them, need to go this direction, okay? So if your paper is directional like that, make sure the ground is at the bottom, and then cut off 1/2 inch on the either the right hand side or the left hand side. It doesn't matter. So you look at your pattern and you think, all right, do I want this little bit trimmed off or this little bit trimmed off? And for my uses, I trimmed it off the right. Okay, this is the only waste for the whole card, so go ahead and throw that away. I give you permission to throw that. What that did is narrow our 6x6 paper to something that will fit in an ordinary envelope that's 5.5 inches this way. So the next two scores that we're going to be doing are narrowing the card so that it will fit in the envelope this direction. Okay, so it can't be more than 5.5 this way or 4.5 this way. So we cut the end off both of those papers. Now I'm going to take just one of them and put it in at 4 1/4. Whoops, first I'm going to slide my cutting blade way out of the way, leave it over there, so that I'm using my scoring blade to mark it at 4 1/4. There we go. Okay. So this is actually going to become the back of the card and the topmost flap. All right, so set that one aside. And then the next one we're going to score at 3 1/4. Same thing, scoring so that the ground on your paper, if you have ground on your paper, is going to be at the bottom of the card. All right, when you fold those in half and nest them together, they make a magic cascading paper card, and it works either direction, right? So if you had the ground running down here, you could have your card open this way. And if it's 6x6 paper like this with the ground running down here, we can have our card opening this way. So that's all there is to the basic card design. If you don't want to stay and watch me stamp, you definitely don't have to. Just remember that it's 2 6x6 cut down to 5.5 on the side, and then one scored at 4 1/4 and one scored at 3 1/4, and that's it. Okay, so let's put the scoring blade away. Now you can see why I did some sponging on this paper, right? Because when I folded those over, the purple sky showed, and it just wasn't as pretty, I thought. So we're going to change that a little bit by opening our peach pie ink pad. My peach pie ink pad is extremely juicy, so the first thing I'm going to do is put it on my glass mat to kind of dumb down the strength of it, because it's very strong peach. And then I'm just getting a little bit of that ink and moving in quick circular motions to kind of dull down that purple. I didn't care for the purple and rust together on that one. Better already, huh? It definitely matches better. And then I'll do the same thing on the other piece, the one with the short flap. Get a little more ink here. I love this glass mat, and it is available for purchase now. You used to be able to only get it when you signed up as a demonstrator, but now anybody can get it. However, you can get it by adding it to your starter kit, which is on sale this month. Very exciting. And something I would definitely suggest if your order is around $100 or more. The starter kit is by far going to be your best deal. Okay, so I've taken the purple and toned down the blue in my card. Just very easily with a blending brush. This is one of the small blending brushes. And my peach pie ink. Oops. My little leaves are running around. That's appropriate for fall, right? Okay, so you can see when I fold those back together, it is a much more comprehensive color scheme now, right? Okay, I love texture, especially on fall cards, so I'm going to take those skinny flaps, the little flaps on the front of the card, and do some tearing. And my tip for tearing is always to tear just with your thumbs. Grab with your right, if you're right-handed, or left, if you're left-handed, and tear slowly, moving your thumbs down the page. Your thumbs will prevent it from tearing wildly off in any direction. Like if you just grab this and and ripped, it would go all over the place, right? But your thumbs are guiding it down the page together and ripping off a very nice looking teared edge. All right, and then I'm going to do the third flap as well. I'm going to take as little as possible off this one because it's the shorter of the 3 flaps. There we go. Fun! I love it. Very cool looking, huh? All right, and then you're like, well, how in the world do those go together? They get tied together. Isn't that funny? So let's do that. Nest them together with that fold line snugly held together. I'm using Cajun Craze twine that came from the holiday catalog, I believe. I guess I might want to look that up. I think it is in the holiday catalog, and it might be on back order, but you should choose twine that goes with your project, whatever the papers are that you chose. And I'm going to tie a knot first so that I can get it as tight and taut as possible. Why is that not in the corner? There we go. And then I'll tie a little bow to be decorative, but I know my knot will hold firm. Cute! It's already cute and we haven't even stamped yet. Magic of pattern paper, right? I'm going to make this bow bow to my will. Calm down there. Okay. All right, let's do some stamping. You'll have to leave a comment and let me know if you're stamping along or just watching, getting inspired. So I'm going to stamp my exterior message on the left hand half of the card on the second panel down. So the first one doesn't really have anything on it, the second panel. And then I will stamp my next message over here to fill this empty space. You could stamp wherever you want in here though, as long as it doesn't show when the card is closed. Like you wouldn't want to stamp right here unless you were okay with it showing, right? So wherever there's an open spot on your pattern paper, you could stamp up here, you could stamp up here. Totally up to you, wherever it looks best on your chosen pattern paper. What did I stamp? Thinking of you fondly. And then the last message is, you make life better. And again, stamp it wherever it makes sense for you. I knew that on this particular paper I was going to be writing over here, writing my message, so I wanted the sentiment to be out of the way. Okay? So those were all done in Mossy Meadow ink. But enough is never enough, right? I have more stamps. There are more stamps than not stamp set. So I had to use them. And I'm going to, oh, I shouldn't have put my twine on until I did this stamping. Okay. We can move the twine, right? Now that I spent so long getting it just perfect, we can actually just pull it off. I'm going to stamp, again, up from the bottom so it doesn't show when the card is closed. I'm just going to stamp something in there to make this paper a little more filled out. Cool! Let's take a blending brush and a little bit of ink from the ink pad and swipe in some soft watercolor look color to help that stand out on the pattern paper. Do you guys still making fall cards, or have you moved on to Christmas cards? It's getting to be about that time. October is probably the best time to start so that you can finish them up in November and not have to worry about spending a lot of time in December getting your cards out for the year. But if you do have time, this would make a dandy Thanksgiving card. Wouldn't that be pretty? I've always thought we should send Thanksgiving cards. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday though. All right, let's put our twine back on and then we'll walk through the card, make sure we got everything. I think all we have left is embellishments. I didn't bother to untie my twine because I know it's already the right size, and that knot is helping it stay where it needs to stay. So it's just a matter of putting it back in place. Very cool, but it's a little plain still, right? So we're going to gussy it up with some die cut leaves from the Thoughtful Wishes bundle. So this has a variety of leaves, both that match the stamp set and our standalone dies, so that's fun. So I have already pre-cut in Mossy Meadow and Pecan Pie a couple of leaves, and I'm going to stick them on with a mini glue dot. The two colors just helps give it a little bit of variety and depth. Mini glue dots make sure that it's not going anywhere. And I'll make sure that I put them so they don't come up over the top of the card, because remember, we got to fit this in an envelope. So didn't that add a lot? Just that right there added a ton, right? So I had an extra leaf here, so I'm going to put that one on a glue dot. And that one's just flying through the air because it's fall. So you could sprinkle some more leaves in here, some more die cuts, whatever you like. The sky is the limit there. And then I have some cool matching embellishments, frosted glass embellishments from the current mini catalog. Whoops, that did not stick. Oh, you know what? I picked it up without both of these. I picked up without the adhesive on the back. Hang on. If that ever happens, just put the embellishment back on top of the glue dot and press it down, and then you'll be able to pick it back up with the background. So putting it back on its glue dot, pushing it down, and then I use a little bit of a sliding motion to take it off. I love embellishments. I'm going to put a lot of embellishments on. Just sprinkled a few over in the corner there. All right, so you'll have to tell me what you think of this double 6x6 card. Very fun, lots of, I may go back with my blender and get that little bit of purple tone down there. Because I like the purple here, but I did not like it on the front. You know, I got a fly in here. I had the door to the studio open yesterday because it was so nice and I was moving stuff around, and I wound up with a fly who's been driving me nuts ever since. Anyway, double 6x6 card. I hope you had fun learning how to make this. It's brand new design, hot off the press, so you can wow your friends with that one. And if you need Stampin' Up, I'd be more than happy to be your demonstrator and send you the latest catalog. Just go to lyssa.stampinup.net. You can shop with my hostess code, but you don't have to have a hostess code. You can shop anytime, and anytime your order goes over $150, you will earn hostess benefits yourself. That's kind of fun. And who doesn't like freebies, right? So let me know if I can help you with Stampin' Up or any type of crafty question, because I'm your gal. Thanks for watching.